Sometimes doing daily content can be interesting because I'm always scouring the different gaming sites and things like that, looking for news. And to be honest, I often try to find like positive news, and this is a positive story. But just real quick, overall, trying to find positive news in this generation is tough. Before it used to be just kind of an easy thing to do, and it was just like a fun thing to do. And now it's just like there's so much negativity, and I hate contributing to that so much. But it's like I understand, like as YouTubers, people don't trust the media and they don't want to go to the traditional sites and stuff like that. So even a few people that watch my stuff, man, I sure appreciate you. And I try to keep the things as positive as I can. It's just unfortunate that all the negative stuff is happening like right after one after the other. And I feel like a lot of this stuff is brought on by Microsoft and their strategies and things like that. It just doesn't feel like they really care that much. But we'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But I want to get into this story because this is going to be a good video, and I'm excited to hear what you all think about it. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel. Means a lot to me personally. A simple like goes a long way. I do daily gaming content. You heard it right. On the daily, it's fun yet informative. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, stick around. So anyway, with all the stuff that's going on, Xbox has done a relatively good job with the game announcements and things like that. They have. I mean, unfortunately, there are some things that are kind of happening that that we can't control or whatever, layoffs and stuff like that, maybe studio closures, but Microsoft did confirm that they're returning to Gamescom. Bethesda's going to be there as well. That's good news because they could maybe do something, show something, who knows? And I think that's always good. They're almost in a way carrying the industry when it comes to that type of thing, because they're going out there and making sure that they can do something when like Sony is not really doing much, and Nintendo's going to Nintendo. So with Summer Game Fest 2025 and the upcoming accompanying game showcase from Xbox in the rearview mirror, the Xbox team is looking to its attendance at the next big gaming event. Xbox confirmed that Gamescom 2025, which is August 20th through the 24th in Germany. The announcement comes through a post, and there aren't many details at the moment, but we do know that Bethesda Softworks will also be attending, with the Xbox publisher confirming its presence on X. Blizzard Entertainment will also be headed to the annual German gaming event, with World of Warcraft team presenting Midnight, the next chapter in the World Souls saga that was first outlined during BlizzCon 2023. According to the team's announcement, World of Warcraft booth will include 5 days of non-stop community celebration with the cosplay showcase, developer meet and greets, and more. And this comes on top of the news for the World of Warcraft Midnight that'll be shared during the show itself. So who else is going to be there? Well, guess what? It looks like it's going to be Xbox. Teams have so many different projects, but it's difficult to say what will be present at Gamescom. With Bethesda Softworks in attendance, it can be narrowed down a little bit. Bethesda and Machine Games shared their first look at the upcoming Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC, the expansion Order of the Nut Giants, during the Xbox Game Showcase, so maybe we'll see more. There's also promised campaign DLC for Doom the Dark Ages, though it wouldn't be surprising if this first unveiled at a stream accompanying the id Software-focused QuakeCon 2025. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff kind of going on right now, showcasing what Microsoft is doing. And again, like anything that they can do, showcasing, hey, we've got some games, we've got this, we've got that. I think that's always a good thing for the industry, a good thing for gamers. And, just nice to see that, there's some stuff going on. It's like there is some positive news out there, considering that, Microsoft went out there and bought, and bought all these studios and things like that. So I do think that that's something that we all have to kind of keep in mind as we go forward, is that, it is good that Microsoft has, the ability to go out there and get these, make these announcements and things like that. But also, that could be part of the reason why we're seeing so many layoffs and so many issues right now in the gaming industry. And so that's kind of where I'm at with all of this personally. I hope Microsoft gets everything together and makes sure that we all have cool stuff to play and whatnot. But to be honest with you, like with everything kind of going on right now, it's hard to really focus on the positive, and that's a real shame, because I do feel like there is some positive stuff to be had there, but it's just like every time I look, and I try to, I'm more of an Xbox leaning person, but it's like, no matter what site I look, it's like Xbox has abandoned physical media. Xbox is getting ready to lay off people. Xbox is closing studios. Xbox is, pulling out of territories. Xbox, it's hard to really kind of like. I mean, I can understand why some people, there's going to be all kinds of different influencers, and God bless them, I was like the diehardest Xbox guy you could ever meet. I still have, I think, like my collection and my stands haven't really changed that much compared to some. Like some of the Xbox influencers, you guys will probably notice, they're like mostly PC users now, right? It's like for me, that's never been a thing. I've never been a PC gamer. I've never gamed on PC. I've always just been console, and so I always thought I was a little bit more of the kind of real deal when it came to being an Xbox guy. I'll never look at a PC as an Xbox. I'll never look at it as a streaming stick as an Xbox. I'll never look at it as an iPad as an Xbox, or whatever the case may be, or a phone. An Xbox is an Xbox console. There's no such thing as a hybrid Xbox. So it's just like, I always thought that I own way more Xbox stuff and way more Xbox games and stuff than the average, influencer or whatever. And a lot of the influencers just tote whatever line Microsoft says, and I don't really do that. I think, hey, finally they got some games coming through or whatever, which I think is good, but it's like the things that have happened and the cost to the brand is really just blows my mind, to be honest with you. So, I don't necessarily understand everything that they're coming from or everywhere that they're coming from. I just hope that, at the end of the day, we see, some good things for gamers, and like right now, I think the best thing that we can hope for as Xbox fans is just getting some good games, because that's pretty much what we're down to right now. It's like I'm not real sure how Microsoft is going to, handle the future console. I'm not sure how Microsoft is going to handle, anything really, but it is nice to see that, the games are finally coming after all these years, and it's like always wait till next E3, wait till this, wait till that, and now we see that at least some of the games are coming to fruition, and I think that's really cool, to say the least. And good on Microsoft for doing that. I wish that it would have been not so bittersweet or whatever, but that happens. And gaming industry is like pretty much anything at this particular point. We don't really know when when things will change or whatever. Like Microsoft has a tendency to want to try and force change, and I don't think that ever really works out. I mean, you just look at the Xbox One, and it can be really, really kind of a negative thing and bad to see that. And again, like I said, I don't want it to all sound like Xbox, because in general, I think PlayStation has had a really, really bad time as well. In general, they've closed down studios, had massive flops like Concord. They've done a lot of things that that have been bad. I mean, they single-handedly helped ruin Bungie, in my opinion. Their studios have been a shell of their former selves. So I don't want you to think that this is just a straight Xbox hate thing or whatever. Because I definitely think like Xbox at least has some games, even though they're multi-platform, whereas Sony has had very little in terms of real first-party stuff. And I mean, even Naughty Dog hasn't released a single game, and maybe won't release a single game this entire generation. So Maybe they'll probably release something, that intergalactic game, as a cross-gen something or other. But realistically, Naughty Dog has really fallen off, and it's just like they haven't really done much either. So it's really hard to sit there and say that this has been anything great in terms of a generation. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. But anyway, let me know down in the comments. I'll link this. Are you guys excited for possible more reveals or anything like that? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.